Good morning, it's May the 9th. I'm back. Haven't live streamed, I've been walking. Haven't live streamed since last Wednesday. I had every intention of live streaming while I was up in Saskatchewan, which is why I wasn't here. But it was very annoying. It's a beautiful day, by the way. You can see that the grass is turning green. But I had to do it on Saturday morning, and on Saturday morning, and it was kept threatening rain, and then it never rained. So I kept thinking I couldn't go because I'd get stuck in the rain. And then by the time I decided it wasn't going to rain, there was no time to do the walk. So that's why I did not walk in Saskatoon. But back here now, and it's Monday, so that means heading down to the creek and along the creek. Very pleasant, going to 17 today, I think. It's about 5 or 6 right now. Not much wind. The leaves are starting to show up on the trees. You can smell growing things. Look at that green grass. See on the bushes, the leaves coming out. Traffic down here for some reason. Later on today I have a Sask Books meeting. I'm on the board of Sask Books, the Saskatchewan Publishers Association. We have a meeting at noon. Virtual. Not entirely sure why we're not doing it in person, but it's virtual again. So I got that coming up, and then I've got stuff to do with the Kickstarter and my own writing. I have a huge editing project that's now I really got to knuckle down on because I've delayed starting it. Just copy editing, but it still takes time. And a million things to do related to Shadowpaw Press. So that's back to the grind. In a couple of weeks I'll be elsewhere again, so getting into that time of the year. There's more travel. And now it really feels like spring, now that things are turning green. Things smells fresh and growing. One thing I did last week, one of the days that I didn't walk because I was busy. Oh, hello, Elmer. Yes, it's looking very springy. One of the things I did last week was I was at the Saskatchewan Libraries Association annual meeting on Thursday. I had an exhibitor's booth for Shadowpaw Press. Talked to a lot of people. Didn't sell a lot of books. I didn't really expect to. But lots of people took the catalog, and now they know that Shadowpaw Press exists. I also did a little introductory lightning introduction, and I had an ad in their program, so hopefully down the road that translates into sales of Shadowpaw Press books to libraries around the province. My latest releases, of course, are Do a Tarot by Brad C. Anderson, which is a great science fiction novel I recommend you check out, and Stay, which is a really fun middle grade novel in verse by Catherine Lawrence. It's an award-winning book, which was orphaned when Cato Books went under, and I picked it up. And Brad's book was published by Bundoran Press in Ottawa. When he closed down, it came back to Brad, and now I've brought it out again. Hi, Charles. Our weather's not all that different at the moment then. Let's see, 57 would be, let me think, well, it's warmer than here, but still. Currently here it's about 41 or 42. There's the creek looking to the east, and the creek looking to the west. Yeah, 57 would be 5/9 of 25 in Celsius. So that's 125 divided by 9 is, well, what, 13, more or less? Closer to 14, I guess. 14 degrees Celsius. Maybe somewhat more limited in where I walk, because my daughter Alice is back and she's got a full-time job, and my wife, of course, goes off to work. So although we have two cars, they're now both taken, and I'm left carless without making special arrangements. So it's harder for me to just drive off somewhere and do a walk further afield in the city on weekdays. So on weekends I'll try to do that maybe, but my weekday walks may largely be starting from home. And there's still lots of places you can go, but obviously it's more limited. Very green down in Waterfall Park. Don't know when they'll turn on the waterfall. They haven't done it yet. But I don't see any reason why they couldn't soon. Oh, and the little creek down there is no longer overflowing. In fact, I think it's dry, because the water comes from the waterfall, except after the snow melts and the snow's all gone, so there's no water down there at the moment. So let's take the path down through the woods here. My left knee is hurting a little. I don't know what I did to it. Won't stop me, but it's noticeable and annoying. more noticeable here in the rough ground. Do you need a license for your e-bike when you arrive in Regina? There are bike licenses. So, he's got something in his mouth. I can't tell what it is. Cricket, maybe? Yeah, the city does offer bike licenses, but I don't know what the rules are for e-bikes specifically. I would suspect some sort of license would be what would be at least theoretically required. I'm sure there's a ton of bicycles that are never licensed, but look at those green leaves starting to pop out. Oh, I suddenly got, for a moment there, I got a poor internet connection. Haven't seen that for a while. Hello. There. Kofi? Hello. More coffee? Yes, very thin ice at the moment. About as thin as it gets. Much rougher over here than walking on the path. Well, this is a path, but it's not the paved path. Oh, such a long... Well, my knees are good, for the most part. I just did something to that left one, probably while I was in Saskatchewan. Don't think my cartilage is gone yet. I do have arthritis of various sorts here and there, but not in my knees so far. My thumbs from all those years of... let's walk down through the grass on this side since I'm over here anyway. All those years of typing, I've got arthritis in my thumbs. And in one of my shoulders a little bit, but generally speaking, doing okay. Wear and tear. You don't get any younger. So this is the Horseshoe Pitch up here. As I said, in the year and a bit I've been doing this, I've only ever seen somebody actually playing horseshoes once. But there is an organized horseshoe club, and they keep this pitch going. I think those spikes have just been put back in. I don't think they were there last time I walked by. It looks like they've repainted the numbers on the boards too. Horseshoes are something I associate with my uncles and, you know, the old guys when I was a kid. We were visiting people in Texas and Missouri and places like that. The old guys would be out there playing horseshoes. I think I've only ever played once. Despite my southern heritage. I never turned into one of them southern old guys because we moved up here when I was a kid. And I don't know that southern guys particularly play horseshoes anymore either, but that's what I associate it with. Not that Missouri is really the South. And you can debate whether Texas is, but still. Not the deep south, anyway. Further south than here, Montana's south of here, so Minnesota's south of here. And we're the deep south of Canada. A few years ago when I was in Yellowknife, which is also the south to most of the Northwest Territories, so you talk to people who, yeah, used to live up north, but I came down south to retire to Yellowknife. You know, get out of the really far north, come down where it's a little nicer in the winter, I guess. Canada's a very big country and it goes way, way to the north. Some kid heading to Sheldon Williams Collegiate, I'm sure, on the bike. I'll go over the footbridge, then I'll have to decide what I want to do walk-wise today. Still feeling very pressed for time, so I think I'll keep it on the shorter side instead of extending it to a full hour as I sometimes do. Probably be more like a 45-minute walk. Good morning. I might at least go under the bridge, stretch it out that little bit extra, but not go under the second bridge, which I sometimes do. So we'll go over the footbridge. Hear the pigeons under the bridge. Morning. Take a look to the east again. There's the creek. And to the west. Don't know if you can hear the pigeons or not. I can. They're under here somewhere. Well, I guess what I could do is take the shortcut here and then I'll do that. This takes off a couple of minutes and then I can walk. For sure I'll go under the bridge and go further on the other side. Because the actual path winds over there for no particular reason except that it's scenic. This is the more direct route right along the creek. Pigeons and the geese. That tree obviously suffered some damage to its top at some point to look like that. Many years ago, there was a huge snowstorm at Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving, so early October. Heavy wet snow, and a lot of trees kind of bent over and some of them lost their tops, so that might have been when this one was affected. It ended up like that, but it's still thriving, obviously. It's just not particularly your classic Christmas tree shape. So much closer to the creek over here than if you follow the path. And I'm just assuming that all the puddles of water are gone. They should be by now. Supposed to get rain this week. Friday, when I normally walk around the lake, it's supposed to rain, so we'll see how that goes. I have done it under an umbrella, and I consider that again. If it's really raining, you take an umbrella. I might do a no-talking walk in the rain. That's always fun. You just listen to the sound of the rain on the umbrella and the water. It does smell so fresh and green. You miss that smell in the winter and you don't realize it until it comes back in the spring. Some willows in the park, but nothing to compare to Old Man Willow in the Adventures of Tom Bombadil, or in the early chapters of The Lord of the Rings. You encounter him as well. Poor Tom Bombadil. He always gets cut whenever anybody does an adaptation of The Lord of the Rings. It's always the first thing to go. It's probably 5 minutes shorter than walking along the curvy path there to get to here. This was all quite thoroughly flooded when the snow was first melting. The creek actually came over its banks up here at the lowest point and spread out into the park a little bit. Not a major flood, but certainly it was above its lowest point on its banks. Softball pitch, softball diamond. That's where you slow pitch. That's what I'm looking for. Slow pitch softball diamond. We're going to the Pasco Street Bridge today, and I'll check the time when I get to the other end and see if I want to go on under the Louvain. Probably not. I think I'll just go as far as the edge of the ball diamond down here and make my way back from there, as I often do. We'll see what the weir looks like here. So this was flooded right after the snow melted. Underside of the bridge. Sometimes I've walked on the other side over there. I'll do that again one of these days. So the canoes for the school kids come out and canoe on the creek in the spring, part of their PE classes, phys ed classes. Another city ball diamond. That's the Louvain up there, Louvain Expressway with the higher speed traffic going by. And the airport just off to the left. You can see the control tower through the trees there. Well, I can. It's really, really tiny on the screen. Down here is the weir. Let's go take a look at it. Good morning. A bell would have been good. So I almost walked in front of him because I had no idea he was there. There's the weir. Don't really know what purpose it serves, but there it is. With, of course, the thin ice warning, because, yeah, it's really thin right now. So, rather than going under the other bridge, since I'm anxious to get back and get to work, we will go down here by the ball diamond. I don't know if those are frogs or... I think those are frogs. Frogs or crickets, I'm not sure which. Something anyway is making a lot of... I wouldn't think it's frogs. Doesn't quite sound like frogs. It must be an insect of some sort. I did see that bird with what I'm pretty sure was a cricket in its mouth, so maybe there's an explosion of crickets at the moment. Sometimes I walk that way, but I walk this way. Because I don't walk this way as often. It's the fence you want to hit it over if you want to hit a home run. Again, it's a slow pitch field, I'm sure, so it's rare to hit anything that far with those big balls. The low building to our left is a former school that's now Saskatchewan Express, which is a performing arts company and school. Well, I thought they were frogs, but I've never really heard them that much along here. I remember lots of frogs when I was a kid, and it seemed like there were hardly any around later. So, didn't think they sound like crickets either, so they're frogs. There you go. I have an authoritative voice who has informed me of that. Charles. We are Saskatchewan Express. I usually walk this close to the building, so ooh, that's exciting. Well, I figured the weir had to do with water levels. I'm just not sure why they want to do the water levels like that there. Well, I can't go that way. I'll get trapped inside the fence. So anyway, there's Sask Express. Well, since I did not walk along the crooked path, no, I don't want to do that. I'll do my usual along here. Not the long and winding road, but the straight and narrow road. There's the legislative building off in the distance, the dome. I'll walk along the dike, though, on the north side of the dike when I get down there today. Actually, why don't I take a walk through the grass, since it's all dry now. I haven't been able to do that before. We'll climb that massive hill there in the distance. Could be 4 feet. Hope I'm up for it. Here we go, up the mountain. Whew, exhausting. Now we're on higher ground, you can see better. Just a parking lot to my left here. That's 15th there. If you're looking at a map, this is Les Sherman Park. And I'm your host, Edward Willett. We don't need no stinking paths. Oop, another mountain. I better climb it. It's taller than the last one. There, I've now conquered both peaks in Les Sherman Park. And you were there to witness it. Good morning, Colleen. Nice to walk on green grass. I should have just worn my shirt sleeves. Even this sweater is too much after about halfway through the walk. Felt about right when I set out, and now it feels like too much. On the plus side, the sweater has a nice zipper I can attach the microphone to, so there is that. Soccer field over here to my left. We're headed straight for the Neo Balkwell Center. We will cross the southern end of the soccer pitch. And football field. I mean, it's an outdoor field, but I've seen more soccer played on it than football. Obviously, those are football uprights. Oh, there are stripes on the field now. It's definitely marked for soccer. So there's the circle in the middle. I would imagine that the kids' soccer leagues have started. Outdoor Farmers Market has started, so I'll have to get down there one day. During the farmers market. Football starts very soon. Is that this weekend? We don't have our tickets yet. We have to go online and see what's what. Maybe they're digital somehow. Usually they deliver them, but it's been a while. Yeah, there's an exhibition game coming up. Isn't that this week? Tickets must be virtual. I know we paid for them. We should have a parking pass too, and we haven't received that. Maybe it shows up this week. Maybe they shows up. Maybe they show up, or it shows up. I do know grammar better than that. No Buckle Center. Have art classes in there. I'll walk down here. Jaywalk over Elphinstone. Oh, I guess the sidewalk's actually over there, but oh well. One of the entrances, but not the main one, which is up here. I still remember doing a production just for the annual meeting of Lyric, Regina Lyric Light Opera at the time, of Trial by Jury, the Gilbert and Sullivan little operetta. We did it in here, and I remember singing at another annual meeting, singing with my a cappella group. We were the entertainment, because that's how they used to do things. Not recently. And Lyric has a show this week, Little Women, the musical. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday afternoon at the Riddell, the University Theatre, Riddell Center. I'm not in it, but you should go see it anyway. It's what they planned to do 2 years ago, and of course that got canceled. And everybody who was around and got a part last time was able to have the same part this time. The only role I could play, I think the fellow who had the role already got that. I didn't know when I auditioned if he was available or not, so. Once these cars go by, I think we can cross Elphinstone. Yeah. Keep going. For sure. Elphinstone. And here's the creek again. There's another weir here. I guess they're kind of stepping down the water from the lake level to the regular creek level is probably what that's all about. This one is still currently, I'm sure there's a weir there, although it almost looks like it's been taken out. It does look like it's been taken out. Well, there used to be a weir there. Perhaps they use it as required, and at the moment they don't want it, and they'll block those openings when they decide they need it. I'm not going to keep walking along the dike, actually. I'm going to walk over here through the park. Maybe not. Yeah, I'll do it here. Anyway, there's the creek again. Say goodbye, creek. Bye, creek. So these would be a nice quiet little cul-de-sac to live down with easy access to the creek and with a dike there, so you don't really have to worry about the creek flooding as it did back in the 70s quite severely. Before they built, I believe that dike was built after that, sort of the, closing the barn door approach to flood control, which is fairly common. Weybird has a big flood control parkway, which was built after major flooding in the 70s as well. We lived a long way from the water, so the flooding never affected us directly, but I do remember as a high school student helping out with sandbagging. And getting very wet when I stepped into water I thought was shallow and it turned out to be very deep. One of those stupid things you do afterwards, you think, why did I think that water was only 6 inches and it was actually 4 feet, you know? How did I make that mistake? Fortunately, I didn't hurt myself because, you know, there could have been anything under the water when I plunged in. But looks like somebody's doing some wood cleanup down there. Okay, so this is Garnet Street and Leopold Crescent. Come together here, come together right now over me. There go some strollers walking up the crescent. They've got people pushing little kids around. They got wheels down below their knees. One thing I can tell you, kids are so hard to please. Come together right now over me. Thank you very much. Hopefully I don't get a copyright hit for that. The Beatles hit team, come and get me. Go down the alley here over to Angus Crescent, which is my crescent. Not my personal crescent, but the one along which I live. Ooh, very green in that backyard. And since I always walk down the crescent, I will also walk down the alley here. That's a very nice house, I'm told. I haven't been in it, but it was on the Davin School home tour a few years ago and Margaret Ann was in it. My wife. Here's the alley. It's garbage pickup day. That's the brown bins. Blue around here is on this Wednesday will be a recycling pickup day. It's only every 2 weeks. Garbage is only every 2 weeks during the winter because it's so cold it doesn't matter if your garbage sits out for an extra week. But as it warms up, it goes to weekly, and we're back to that now. I always have to be sure I get my garbage bin in behind my fence once it's picked up, because otherwise, because of where we are, it seems to attract all the dog walkers, and it fills up with other people's dogs' poop in plastic bags, but still. Treehouse. Kind of a tree ship, actually. That's kind of cool. A little bit of gardening going on back here in the alley. A little bit of barking going on in the backyard. Dogs hate it when you walk down the alley. Now I'll get over to the crescent. This house used to be brown when I was in it. It used to belong to Renee Brad, who is an opera singer and music whole type person, and her husband is also musical. I sang with him in University Chamber Choir, and I sang with her in a couple of productions in the Mikado when we did it in 1997, and even before that, in 1994, production of The Merry Wives of Windsor at Shakespeare on the Saskatchewan. It wasn't a Shakespeare on the Saskatchewan production, but on the nights when there was no Shakespeare on the Saskatchewan show, which was the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, Prairie Opera did an opera. So we did the Merry Wives of Windsor. The challenging bit was that we had to use whatever set Shakespeare on the Saskatchewan had. And it was in a tent, so it was really just, we didn't have their set pieces, but whatever they'd done for the floor. And they were doing a post-apocalyptic version of Hamlet, and kind of a road warrior kind of thing. And the stage had a lot of sand on it. And our women were wearing Elizabethan dresses and would come sweeping in, literally, in those long skirts, sweeping up the sand. Now, the question is, have they been down our alley yet and picked up the garbage? So once you got around the clouds of dust, it was a fine production. We also did it up here. We did it in the old train station, which is now the casino, but at the time, the train station had closed down not too long before. And nothing else had gone in, so we did it there. But it wasn't a great place. It was just too live. All right, well, that's it for me on this walk. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. Bye for now.